here's the other thing. Now, maybe more interestingly, so RH said on that audio stream that he really believes that BTC will not decorrelate from other markets like other mainstream people have been acting. They've been saying that, oh, yeah, Bitcoin's going to break off and do its own thing and everything. Wait till the Fed pivots or this or that. Although it would be nice, and Richard said that. What do you make of that? Because, I mean, yeah, historically, he is correct. I mean, especially in the environment that we're in right now, rates being hiked up as high as they are. He talked about the stock market crashing soon, and especially after the Fed pivot, which, we don't know what that'll be, but, likely by summer or late summer at the very latest in 2024, we would think. So, yeah, what do you make of that? I mean, there's a lot of people out there. Maybe I don't know if it's the BTC maxis or who it is, but we all should be BTC maxis, I guess, in a way when it comes to this, because you want it to move up while other things are going down, because generally it's going to carry the altcoins with it. Now, something that he did kind of couch in there with all these statements was that Hex has done a 20x against Bitcoin in the past when Bitcoin was going down. Right. So we're keeping that in mind. So I really wonder when he says, because you don't expect it on RH on the stream. I mean, he'll call it like he sees it, but talking about Bitcoin decorrelating, Bitcoin going down with the rest of the market and everything. Does that necessarily mean he thinks that Hex and Pulse Chain will go down with it, I guess, is what I'm asking Ewok.
I took that when I was listening to it as well. I think Bitcoin will follow the markets. He's also said that he thought the markets would essentially crash after the pivot. But then he went on to say how Hex, this was during the COVID dip, did a 20x when Bitcoin was coming down. So I took that as he thinks maybe Hex, Pulse Chain, and his coins will do that again. When those things go down, ours will go up. So that's how I interpreted it anyway. I could be completely wrong or not understanding what he was saying. But the reason Bitcoin follows a lot of things is because it's tied to so many things now, right? There's the grayscale, there's all the other things, plus all the pairs of every coin with Bitcoin. There's a Bitcoin Ethereum pair, there's a Bitcoin Litecoin pair, there's a Bitcoin everything pair. So essentially those are all tied together. However, our little ecosystem is kind of not, or at least it didn't used to be. I think we do have a fair amount of volume with Ethereum now that is tied to a lot of things. We also have the bridge. So we have a lot of bridged in value from the other side. That's always helping with price maintenance and whatnot. So yeah, I took it as we could run. This community is special, and kind of we do our own thing a lot of times. And it's been a bear market for everybody. Let's see, will we come out of it a little bit different? I don't know. I think it'd be nice to find out. And I think it is quite possible that we take off when other things are pulling back.
Well, we've certainly suffered enough, so I think it would be a welcome sight.
That we have,
to see. But yeah, it was interesting to hear his thoughts there, and he talked a lot about obviously the price is coming down when the Fed does eventually pivot. But some people have asked and I understand why it's confusing. People are like, well, why is the Fed pivoting a bearish event? I don't understand that. Like, why? When things are getting back to normal, they've, met their inflation goals and they're starting to pivot and cut rates. Why is that bearish? And it's just because of the fact that, the whole country has to then adjust for this change, for a little while. And it's only bearish in the short term. I think people take that as oh, hey, we've been so bearish during these hikes. What do you mean it's going to be bearish when they start to cut? Not necessarily bearish as in 2 to 3 years while rate cuts are going on. It's just more of a short-term thing for a little while after the cuts begin. And then once we realize this is where we are, this is the new environment we're in, that's when the markets have an opportunity to go back up, over this cycle. So
agree.
Yeah. I mean, what do you look at that time frame like, Ewok? I mean, after they do start to actually cut rates, I mean, how long do you think we might see bearish action for? Because I don't think it's really anything other than maybe a month long of downside.
Month or two. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
and it corrects pretty quickly. Like you said, people get tired of that.
Yeah.
Somebody makes the first move, and it just really, is it a month? Is it 2 months? I don't think it's much longer than that. I guess it could be 3, but I think that's
Right.
pushing it.
Right. Were there any other highlights? I mean, we kind of just de facto ended up talking about a lot of the stuff that RH said on that audio stream throughout
Yeah,
the episode. Were there any other highlights that you wanted to pull out of there? But because he kind of stuck to the same 3 topics, but to me, it was just great that he came out and did that.
yeah,
And like you said, it was just so great to hear from him again and get what his thoughts really are on all this.
yeah. I mean, he definitely made it clear that he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Which was reassuring, I think, to a lot of people. I
Hmm.
didn't think he would ever go anywhere. He really always talks about Satoshi disappearing and a lot of these guys. Where are they and what are they doing? Well, they're not anywhere to be found. And here I am trying to save the fucking world.
Yeah.
and,
Right.
and I think, that's a key takeaway from it. So, I, a lot of the things that he said that, it's going to take a lot of practice to change our mindset, to change our verbiage,
Right.
with the
The self
wallets and the
custody stuff.
custody
Yeah.
and the things like that. And he even said himself, he's got to like really try hard to think about it, to not say things the wrong way. So,
I know.
will that all come back to be into play? Something that we may have to kind of do. Um, who knows? That's yet to be seen. But I thought that was a very interesting challenge, so to speak, to see how many people actually do change their how they word things and how they say things. It should be fun to watch, um, on Twitter and on streamers saying things. It's just so habitual now to talk about things the way we have been. It's going to be a hard habit, I think, to break.
Right. Right. Yeah, I'm with you, and it is hard. I mean, I still think like holding your own keys, or yeah, not your keys, not your coins. Even that right there, really, technically, isn't true. So, yeah, it's just holding
Yeah,
your own keys. I mean, that still implies like holding your own knowledge, basically. I mean, I think
right.
that still pretty much checks all the boxes. So, somebody will think of something good. Hey, maybe we'll use ChatGPT, try to type this stuff in and say, like, how would you describe, owning your own private keys to a blockchain? Just see what it spits out at us. I don't
That'd be
think it'll be
interesting.
anything very good. Yeah, it will be.